Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Sorry for the delay. Let me see here. Hmm. Okay, that's easy to remedy. And just do that. And then that. Okay. I was working on something. Uh, it'll make sense in just a minute, I assure you. Okay. Oh, man. Okay. Give me 1 second, you guys. I was working on something, and there we go. Booyah! Hmm. Oh, well, that didn't work out. Okay. Anyway, so let me see who's here. Hmm. Oh, that is so weird. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Comments. Uh, uh, there we go. Um, and Fu, you were here first, followed by Lydia, Marmon, sorry about that. Letitia Williams, Lady T, and oh, S, thank you so much for the super sticker. Greatly appreciate it. And let's see, are you a member too? Yes, you're a member. Thank you so much for being a member of Royal Sussex. And happy what's left of Monday to you. Yeah, happy what's left of Monday to you. And again, thank you so much for being here. Okay, and gosh, that is weird. All right, I was trying to do a thing. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Yes, I was trying to do a thing, and it just was not cooperating for me. Okay, maybe if I leave it be for a minute. All right, Yulibi is here. Coco, thank you so much for being here, Coco. Uh, Oh, you just wanted to say hello? Thank you so much for that. Amelia Rodriguez, Mary H., Lorna Williams. All right. Okay, I'm just scrolling through and I'm going to, wow, you guys have been chatting away. B10 Pow, you're the last one in here. So let me bring up my slides and I promise you we are good to go. Okay. Hello, Carolyn Teal, Brenda Phillips, Brenda Gray. All right. And hello to, oh, wait, there we go. Oh, and happy birthday to Beyonce today. Today is Beyonce's birthday. And I have family that celebrated birthday today. So interesting, right? Okay. All right. So come on. All right. And okay, there we go. Worlds apart. That is what I'm calling this thumbnail. Worlds apart. And I'll take B10 away and I'll throw that in there. Booyah, got it. Got it. So this seems to be the way things are going on opposite sides of the Atlantic. Although I promise you, I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about the other two. Um, we have other things to talk about. At least I'm not going to talk about them right away. But I do have a thing or two to say about them because the shade, the shade has been piling up. So we will get to them at some point, but not right away. Also, the young man, Matt, the TikToker, you guys, we got to talk about that. We have to talk about that. So, as you know, from time to time, I'm in the spaces. I don't usually talk in the spaces because I do so much talking otherwise. So um, it would be a little confusing for me. Although I want to, but sometimes it's better to just listen. Amen. And I believe it was Buddha who once said, "Do not speak unless you think the sound of your voice or the words from your mouth or whatever is going to improve the situation." And therefore, I keep quiet and I listen and I learn. My presence is known. If you've never been on spaces before, my presence is known. And I tell you, you can learn a lot from them if you just listen. Not that that's the entire point, but you can learn a lot. Okay, so I'm stalling. I worked on something, and Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker. VS Speaks Royally, thank you so much for being here. Susie Q, okay, I hope I didn't miss any other super stickers. Okay, no, I don't think so. Very good, very good. All right, let's get on with it then. So, take a look here. This is Matt. I guess that's short for Matthew. That is Matt and his partner, his husband. They are lawfully wedded. The husband, who is a Brit, I believe, is an engineer. Matt, I'm not sure, but Matt seems to. I'm thinking he is maybe an entertainer or a multimedia artist of some sort. I can't be sure. But I want you to look at some of those numbers there. And then from what I hear, there's one video that has over 70 or is it 90 million views? I think it's like up to 90 million views. So he delivered. He delivered for the Sussex squad. And as they say, no good deed goes unpunished. Well, let me just cut to the chase, right? Um, Matthew was at the concert, or Matt was at the concert. I don't want to get too familiar with him because I don't know him. And he posted on the TikTok, as far as I'm concerned, he is a hero because the other day, well, what was that? 2 days ago, when the video, not video, but when the images of Harry and Meghan were shown at the concert, Harry was not smiling. Now, as we all know, not everybody uh, conducts himself in the same way at a concert. And in particular, Harry being a man, and of course, Harry having a huge event coming up, which is what I chalked it to. Seems like I was wrong about that, but that's what I was thinking is that, okay, he's got a lot on his mind. He's looking at his phone, so on and so forth. And that's the way it is. But is Doria's birthday. Megan is in a great mood. She's there to see Beyonce, and they seem to hit it off really well or get on well with each other. So there you go. And I figured that was all to it, right? But leave it to the tabloids to turn it into something that it's not, or to make out of it something that is so removed from reality. Um, and that's where the problem comes in, because some of the squatties actually turned on Harry. Surprise, surprise. Um, there were, people who were upset because he wasn't smiling, or they thought he should be this way or that way. And I will admit, sometimes I am saying to myself, oh, please, Harry, smile. But Harry is thinking of the security of his wife and his family at all times. So there's Harry that's in Japan having a boys' trip someplace. And then there's the Harry that is with his wife who has been threatened like she has been running for public office. She has received threats like she's running for president. I have never seen the type of vetting that Megan has gone through for someone who's not a politician. So, that being said, um, at some point, things got a bit ugly, ugly. And people said some really nasty things to Matt because people thought he sold the rights to his video to the dark side. I'll just say the dark side. But there's more to the story. And often, if you just are patient, you'll find out there definitely is more to it. Ken Holt, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for being a member. And always thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Diane Hawkins says, I love spaces. Great place to listen and learn. As Baron said, by the way, I'm still streaming Heart of Invictus in background all day. Let's get those engagement minutes up. You get a bell for that. Absolutely. You all listen to Diane Hawkins. She knows. We have one job right now, and that is to support our faves. That's our job. Um, oh, thank you so much, Black Queen. All right, so these are some of the engagements that I found, not the engagements, but the numbers that I found a while ago when I did this screenshot. He has shared 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I'm going to say, yeah, 14 videos. A couple of them don't have the Sussexes in it, but he shared 14 videos. And by doing that, I promise you, this young man elevated the Sussex squad in a way that we have not experienced in quite some time. I promise you. Um, Big Mama says, I'm so glad you said that, Baron. I came to the same conclusion about Harry. He is always thinking of Meghan's safety. Absolutely. His eyes are constantly darting left and right. And when they had that mysterious trip to the office building that time, which I suspect I know the reason why they were there, um, Meghan was being pleasant as always, and Harry was in a very defensive posture. And of course, it pains us because we suspect it was this or that, but the nasty, terrible things that people make out of it in the world of the derangers is hurtful to them, is hurtful to us, and the best that we can do is to try to be there for one another, to try to talk these things out, not to argue and become combative with each other. But I do like to have a conversation, and sometimes conversations can be a bit unpleasant, but sometimes you have to have those unpleasant conversations and be open enough to listen and receive as well as share. Antoinette Kennedy says Baron Harry is straight up on their security and could see Harry looking at people with phones toward them, which makes me very uncomfortable. Yeah, yeah. Scenarios run through my mind. I'm anxious because I see he's anxious, and that's like the little roller coaster that we're on sometimes. And oh, I tell you, I feel like I aged that night with the New York thing because when I went to bed, I had completed a video and I felt so good. And then I wake up and I see these pictures of the. No, actually, it was before I went to bed, after I finished the video, and I'm seeing the taxi, and it did not make sense to me. I saw them drive away in a limousine. So emotionally, yes, I'm. Oh, sorry about that. I'm just as invested as quite a few other people are, if not everyone. So I understand where everybody's coming from. So right here, RS Lock, Royal Suitor says, if y'all don't back the F off Matt over some stuff when we are being fed, this is why we can't have nice things. And then another one right here says, I appreciate a man with transferable skills. On royal engagements, the handoff switch was so Prince Harry could shake some, what is it, Lord Lieutenant hand without letting go of. Okay. At Beyonce's concert is to grab his drink. The venue has changed, but his grip hasn't. So this, of course, is a video in reference to how Harry continues to maintain contact with Meghan's hand as long as possible, whenever possible, when they're in public. And I believe that calms him down. But let's stick with what she has at the top there, because I wanted to share both of those. The one at the top is the very important one. We are being fed. And I promise you guys, those videos, um, it 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 does a lot, and in particular, it does a lot for the Sussexes. I get and I support Harry and Meghan in the posture that they have when it comes to public relations. I figure it's their lives, they know better than I do. However, in my own life experience, and you may have experienced the same, like for instance, when I refused to get on a plane during the pandemic, I refused to go a lot of places during the pandemic. And someone who meant very well um, forced me to go to a concert and another concert and to go to the museum and to go places and do things. And nothing happened. And I'm so grateful for it. So I have to say, in that case, someone else knew better. Now, ultimately, I have to be responsible for myself. Amen. But I am appreciative that someone thought enough to make sure that I was still living my life in spite of the pandemic. Well, in regards to the Sussexes, yes, they have their way, and I support that. I promise you, I support that. But unknowingly, there was someone with a camera phone, with a smartphone, who recorded them enjoying themselves. And I believe that that is going to go so much further to humanize them in the eyes of people who don't know their story, who don't know them, who only have seen all of the nasty articles and the talk shows and such. Still, it's a minority of people, but it's a lot of people. And that bothers me. And I want so much, not for my sake, not for the selfish reasons of just seeing them out, although I do want to see them more, but also I I'm hoping that other people that don't know them will get to know them as we do. And that, I believe, is very important for their future. But that's not my call to make. That's not your call to make. But still, without asking for permission, but clearly in a public space where you are likely to be recorded or photographed or witnessed, someone decided to share those moments. And I am so grateful for that because I was in a very, very bad way that morning when I saw the articles claiming that Harry was, yeah, and I know it was a lie. You know it was a lie, but he's just not that into it. And he's more that hurt me. I was hurt for him because I know better. And I'm looking at someone projecting, actually, not someone, I'm looking at all these people um, elevating this huge lie, this narrative that had no place in reality. But if not for Matt, that would have been the end of the story. Okay, but I got to say too, there were a couple of other people, but I remember for the first few hours, we did not have much. There was someone who recorded themselves, And one of the squatties with a very eagle eye managed to say, "Oh, there's Harry and Meghan back there." And I tried my best to see what they were doing. I couldn't see a thing. I saw their silhouettes, but I couldn't make out anything. But eventually, the videos started coming, much to my relief, because I wanted so much for them to be that, to be both of them to appear to be in the moment. Not that I doubted that Harry was, but all I was thinking was he's got a big thing coming up, and he's probably working some last minute details, probably on his phone with Germany or whatever. Well, nothing could have been further from the truth. Harry was there, he was engaged, and as we found out, he was actually texting to other people in the audience. Like, for instance, his daughter's godfather, who happened to be up in the front, Tyler Perry. He may have waved to Tyler or someone else. We don't know, but apparently he waved to someone, and they were both in constant contact with other people in the audience as we witnessed. B10 says, yes, it must be stressful for Harry when his wife is out and about. Absolutely. Absolutely. And even though we are not, part of their immediate family, it's stressful to us. I'm stressed by it. I am stressed by it. Um, the same stress I feel when it's my own family. Always, I'm all I can think of is when they get home, they're gonna call me. When they get home, they're gonna call me. That's what I'm holding my breath for. Baron, we kind of knew this will happen. Haters will hate. Sad. Thank you, B. Martin. And yes, that right there, what you just said, is so many times when we know what the tabloids are going to make of it. We go through the scenarios in our head. And in some ways, I'm embarrassed to say that that is in my head, but also I'm not embarrassed because I'm a human being and that's just how I feel. I feel very, very vulnerable for them, and I'm not embarrassed to say so. But that's just who I am. And so yes, I'm always like hoping that something will counter or at least eliminate, if possible, the lies that they have told. So there's a good reason why Meghan and Harry are not on social media. There's good reasons why they have taken the posture that they have. But again, without asking for it, someone else had other ideas, and it has made all the difference in the world. We went from being demoralized by the tabloid media. Okay, when I was in spaces, there were several people who said they haven't slept for 2 days. They have been on such a high that they haven't slept for 2 days. I think that describes my situation. I slept for like 3 hours and I was back up again. And then I took a nap and I was back up again. But that's where I've been for the past couple of days. And I am happy for it. By the way, thank you so much, B. Martin, for the super chat. So, um, I'm sorry. There we go. Black Queen says, I think we need to start anticipating what the haters will say and always know they are lying. Yeah, and I do intellectually, Black Queen. I know, but in my heart, I ache. I'm anxious. That's how I feel. And that describes so many other times in my life where intellectually I know what makes sense. I know what's true and what's not true in most cases, or what I suspect the truth is. But also, as a human being, I also have feelings and anxiety, and all of that comes rushing in, and those two things collide. And hopefully I will will always come down on the side of common sense and what adds up, and what's the reality. But sometimes I don't always find that space. And when I saw the first photos from the concert, I have to admit to you guys, I was trying to think to myself, and I wasn't thinking about myself. What I was thinking about was, how am I going to try to um, smooth this out for the Sussex squad? That was my thought. I was thinking about you all that saw the same stuff I saw, and I wanted to make what could have been a very bad situation better, as I do just about every day. That's my intentions, is not to bring more anxiety than what we're, and not just about the Sussexes. I mean, just about anything. That is something that I feel compelled to do, is to try to ease the burden of those anxious feelings whenever possible. And what helps me is that if I can explain something, or if someone can explain it to me, if there's a reasonable explanation, I'm able to function better than the unknown. So that was how I explained it to myself. Harry's got a lot to do. Harry's got stuff to do. So that being said, um, take from it what you will, but I agree with Royal Suitor. We have been fed. The food was delicious. I feel like mentally, I just walked out of um, what's her name's place, Melba's. I feel like I just walked out of Melba's. My stomach is full. My breath smells like fried chicken and waffles. I'm happy. I'm full. I want to just smile and lay down and doze off like it's Thanksgiving or something. That's how I've been the past couple of days. I have been very, very well fed, and I'm grateful for it. So, that being said, I didn't see the nasty comments, but that there has been talk aplenty about it on the social media, on the spaces and such. And if that is the case, please stop. Please, please stop. Um, because I understand. I understand where the emotions come from. But if you are one of the people that are taking him to task, just know that there is nothing that you can say or think of that someone else has probably not said at this point, and probably said it several times. Several times. Um, and there's a few squatties that I look to um, for encouragement, for guidance, for common sense. Not that I'm necessarily in full agreement with them every time, but I lean heavily on other content creators and other people on social media, because I just want to make sure that I have an informed decision to give, or thoughts to share. So I do that. And so one of the people that I respect a lot is Royal Suitor. Um, and where she's, saying this right here, which is unusual for her to use that language, I'm in full agreement. Please leave that young man alone. Um, and I'm going to share some more with you about that. But let me just take a look at a couple of your comments. Andrea Allen, when I saw the first photo, my first thought was, oh boy, the Rangers are going to feed off it like sharks in a frenzy. I personally, though, saw nothing wrong with Harry's expression in that photo. Yeah, Andrea, I agree with you. It wasn't so much what we thought as much as what they could do with it. Like there was an old saying that a friend told me years ago. She said, never give somebody a stick to hit you in your head with, meaning don't give your enemy a weapon, period. And so that's what I was feeling was like, uh-oh. They took a little snapshot in time, a quiet moment, and that is going to be weaponized. And all I can think of is, how am I going to push back? What am I going to do to push back? Either way, without the photos that came later or with the photos that came later, I was going to push back. But thank you for your comment. Diane says, I stayed awake to enjoy the vids and waiting like Christmas morn for wonderfulness. Dropping next, I knew the haters were stunned. At first, I didn't know which lie to tell. But lie. Uh, Let me see. First, I'm sorry, not I, but first didn't know. Okay. But thank you so much, Diane Hawkins. And Leg says, is it Sussex squad focus on Invictus? How's the Commonwealth Games? Thank you so much, Legs. How is the Commonwealth Games going? Did they find a host nation or no? Kim Peaches says, Baron, I didn't have TikTok, Tik or Talk, Instagram, etc. I only know that Prince Harry will look like that for now and forever concerning his Meg protective mode. Matt is very respectful and loving. Yeah, and he didn't make what I noticed is that he um, he shared uh, them with us, but mostly to put it in context with the concert, right? And who knows, he may have kept those videos to himself. He may have kept them to himself because certainly didn't share them all at once, but he may have kept most of them to himself. Um, but it was, I guess an incredible situation that you go to a luxury box or suite or whatever, and you've nicknamed yourself the Mexican Meghan Markle, and who's next door? When he saw them, the scream that he let out, I'm sure he didn't have a voice the next day. But and I guess his excitement on the other end of me as a content creator, as a squatty, trying to figure out how am I going to combat these derangers, and I'm like, okay, I'll work out something. I always feel like I can work out something. You know how I am. I'll work out something. That's my approach. But I would have been scratching my head for a while, trying to dig and find something that will make sense out of it, only for a flood of videos to come through. And it just made the task that much easier. So I was glad for that. Helen Cole says, sorry, I missed the photo you are referring to. The photo. Uh, you may have seen it already though, but thank you, Helen Cole. But I got some more. Oh, I got some more stuff coming up. Let me move on. But I'm just like, I really want to look at everybody's comment. I know I can't, but I'm just praying that everything goes well for Prince Harry in the UK and the Invictus Games have no flaws and they make it back safely to their children. And I am so confident that they will. But like you, I'm going to stay in prayer about it. VS says, I thought the same. Royal Sussex and Andre Allen that, oh Lord, they will hop on Harry. Doesn't look happy. And then all the photos I saw of the other men set me at ease. Thank you, VS. I actually shared those photos, and um, well, we're talking about the same photos, like LeBron James and such, and the little Spider-Man kid, the one that played Spider-Man. And that was like my go-to or one of my go tos up until that point, because I definitely, I mean, you guys, I know this sounds corny, but I promise you, I don't ever want to leave off with people feeling bad. I don't want that. And I know it's not my responsibility for everybody else, but in some ways I make it my responsibility in every part of my life. So that's just my nature. And I did not want anyone to go to bed that night um, feeling bad about the tabloids and the derangers. So, without all of the stuff that came through, I was going to do my best. But fortunately, I didn't come to that. Um, there was plenty things to offset that, and I am so grateful for it. I just cannot say it enough. I am so grateful for it because I I was not feeling good about it. I was not feeling good about it, and I'm just glad that something shifted and we were able to, um, you know, we were able to go to bed ecstatically happy, as opposed to having our fist balled up trying to figure out what we're going to do about the derangers. And also, it would have been really bad. It's not just for that occasion, but it's also for the whale child, because that would have been one of the talking points used against Harry up until that point, as well as a segue for the Invictus games. And, you know, I feel like I am not speaking for everybody, but I'm speaking for somebody. I'm very invested in um, the outcome of the Invictus games, in the um, the I wanted to go extremely well. I want everyone safe. I want everyone to know how spectacular the athletes are. I want everyone to be just as proud of Harry as I am. I want that as much as I want to take my next breath. I do. I want that because it it's gonna go a long way to help so many people in our own families, perhaps people like us, whoever. But this is a big moment, and it can help a lot of people. And I would just hate to see that overshadowed by even more tabloid nonsense. Now, there's going to be tabloid nonsense. It's just a constant. But at least we have eliminated that for all intent and purposes, for the most part. But thank you so much, BS, for your comment. Boy, I tell you, let me take a breath. As a matter of fact, let me see if I know I have that photo of the other guys. I know I have that photo. Um, I just don't remember exactly when I shared it. Not a big deal for now, but let's see. Uh, well, okay, okay. Just for the sake of conversation, let's go back to a couple of days ago where we started. Um, this, this. Now, like I said, I understood what was going on, but I didn't feel good about how it was going to be used. Um, and so let's see here. The other men at the concert. Uh, no, I guess it wasn't on this one. Okay, let me try the other one then. And by the way, someone just dropped a Cash App. Thank you so much for that. Let me see. MR, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. All right. Mm. Okay, so not so important. I think most of us saw those photos, but I don't see them offhand right now. So let me continue before I get too far off the track. So this is Matt, and Matt has been pushing back against the squatties and also against the derangers. Okay, that is a lot. That is a lot. Now, I don't know whether he has been compensated. I don't know exactly what was the nature of his giving them the okay or consent to use his videos. They're not using all of them. They're only using select videos. Oh my goodness, a lot of conversation. I'm scrolling. I'm so sorry, you guys. Lex says, "Wait, Camilla was there too." Bacon, another one. You're talking about the her horse. Thank you so much for that. So right here, me to all the hate comments. So he felt a need to post this, and this is not the only one. He posted some other ones. He has been getting a lot of pushback. You know, a lot of people asking questions and such. And I understand. I can't say to grown people don't do this and don't do that, but I'm going to just say it. Please leave this guy alone. If that's you, anybody who's listening, it's been dealt with, and he has given his response. So, right here, if you see any British media using my content, feel free to let them know they have not received my consent. The only outlets I have let reshare on their socials have been E Tonight, Pop Culture, and Access Hollywood. Oh, yeah, and Extra TV. Now, the Extra TV, we all know who that is. So I'm going to get to that too in just a second. That is why I am team, what is that? Classy Crusader. Um, you understand the assignment even before the assignment was assigned. We love you. Now that's the squatty, um, you know, sending a shout out to Matt. And then Supernatural TV show fan says, thank you for having integrity, Matt. So, all right. Then on the right side, if you haven't looked at it already, Jesus Christ. Yes, I know Kenzie. We met when she reported a red carpet, I think it's event. I won a singing contest with iHeart. We used to share a love for Meg and Harry. No, I didn't know about that segment. No, I didn't give Talk TV permission, and our opinions about the Royals clearly differ. That day was filmed, by the way. Now, there he is in the white jersey, seated on the sofa with the other people. That is how he knows Kinsey. And so, Kinsey, being someone that he was friends with from the past, asked him, perhaps through social media, or maybe she has his phone number, who knows? But she asked for and received permission. I doubt, I really do doubt that he even knows anything about Talk TV. Um, Most Americans have not seen Talk TV. He seems to have a lot of things going on in his life. I don't know if Talk TV is a big presence on TikTok. He's not really a YouTube person. He's not really, you know, Twitter or anything like that. I think most of his world is um, the TikTok. So until we know different, until I find out different, I'm just going to accept that for what it is. Um, I have been following people on Twitter, and then somebody will say, "Oh, that's a deranger." Now, I may have followed that person for a year. I don't keep up with Twitter like a lot of people do. People will tag me and there's stuff on my timeline, and I may go through there once a month and actually look at it. Okay. So when I find out someone's a troll or, you know, have a big question mark, then I block them or I unfollow them or whatever. But um, sometimes I just don't know. I'm not aware. And I have, heard people like really angry about who other people are following, but I may have seen a couple of nice posts or what I perceive to be a couple of nice posts or something I didn't read through completely. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to follow that person without knowing everything about them. But you can spend a half hour digging into a person's past on Twitter and still not find anything. So in most cases, I don't. It has to be something really serious to make me want to go back and see what they posted back in 2020. And then sometimes they have thousands of posts in between now and 2020. So I don't know what he knew about Kinsey. Apparently, Kinsey has been a supporter of the Sussexes. And believe it or not, if you guys remember, Pierce Morgan seemed to have nice things to say about Meghan until he didn't, right? So if Pierce Morgan was, calling the royal family a racist institution in so many words before he started calling her things like Princess Pinocchio, well, just imagine how Kinsey was. Kinsey seems to be a bit of an opportunist, and whichever way the money flows, that's the way she goes. And it's easy for some people to be seduced by that type of thing. And I'm not going to try to humanize her and say I understand her, or I'm not going to make an excuse. She's just doing it for the money. I mean, you still have to have some moral compass in life. But that is his explanation for Kinsey. And if I know myself the way I think I do, knowing me, I would be one of those people that didn't really know that that person had gone to the dark side. Um, and especially if I hadn't been in touch with that person, in forever, I don't know. LA can be a very large city and it can be a very small town. And people in entertainment, people who aspire, they run in all kind of circles. Everybody has the ultimate Rolodex in LA that is of that life. So they may have gone to the same clubs. He said she worked the red carpet. She was aspiring to do bigger things, but she wound up a regular on Talk TV. Go figure. So let me just pause here and take a look at a couple of your comments. I'm not sure where to start because I'm sure there is plenty. Let me see. Tash Max says a real squatty wouldn't attack Matt, who didn't do anything in malice. To attack him is to be a deranger, as far as I'm concerned. And that is some of the language that people were using today. Is that is very deranger like the way that people were attacking him. Let me see. Little Max says he said he did not give the British media the rights to his videos. And I'm not sure what the rights and consent. I'm not sure what that means, right? Because as far as I know, like you guys notice that I have been sharing certain TikTok videos. Other creators have been sharing certain TikTok videos. If those videos had originated on YouTube, we wouldn't be able to share them. Now, in the very fine print, I do believe that even though you are the content creator, I believe TikTok has a certain amount of germane over the content as well. I'm not sure how that spells out legally, but it's not to say that you couldn't sell the rights or I really don't know how that goes. I don't know how that goes. I don't know what TikTok small print is compared to YouTube. So I cannot be sure. But I tell you what, at any given time, TikTok can pull the plug on someone, just like YouTube can pull the plug on me, and I wouldn't be able to share a lot of the content that I have created because it would have been lost to YouTube. And I don't know that I would have a right to get it back. So there's a lot of fine print that people may or may not be aware of. But just like everybody else, when I see "Do you agree?" I could tell you equivocally, I've never refused. I have never refused. It's like when they say, "Do you want another Cheddar Bay biscuit?" I don't know how to say no. If I'm at the Red Lobster and they come around with Cheddar Bay biscuits, I don't care how full I am, I want another Cheddar Bay biscuit. And so I'm just as likely to say no to "Do you agree?" or click yes if you agree. I'm just as likely to click yes as I am to say, "Yep, I'll have another Cheddar Bay biscuit. Yep, over here, hot out the oven, bring it on." So there you go. Let me see. And thank you, by the way, Little Mac. Most True Squad sent much love to Matt. He is a source of our great joy these past few days, and the vast majority of us are most appreciative. He shares with us first. I'm grateful. Yeah, and Diane Hawkins, that would the one of the cautionary things that someone said, and I agree with this too, is we in the squad, we are very quick to make someone a hero, right? We're very quick to make someone a hero. And so, yes, we are appreciative, but, you know, there are some people who have elevated him to hero status and then went on to attack him. And there are some people that are just, side eye. And then my thing is, I'm just appreciative. I'm grateful. Um, and I'm glad he explained this, but I'm kind of sorry that it took a lot of coercion and some of it very unfair to get him to that point, because we don't know what he's conscious of where the squad is concerned, where the Sussexes are concerned, social media, some of those dinky, low quality news channels. We don't know what he's aware of. We don't know when the last time he spoke to Kinsey was, but Kinsey knew who he was and went in for it and got what she wanted. Oh my God, they are lying about Matt selling the video to Talk TV. Wow. Well, B10, that seems to be the case. And I have had experience with, and by the way, um, it wasn't only Black Queen, but I do recall that when they were giving me the what for some time back, when Tina and Michelle was on, when they were giving me the what for, Black Queen, among others, was like ride or die with Royal Sussex. And it wasn't a matter of who's right and who's wrong, who's this and who's that. But when you know someone is operating absence of malice operating, when you know someone, when you know their heart, or you feel as though you know their heart, or understand them, then you're more inclined to take a stand with them. And because I read through the comments, the chat from that day. I read through it, and there was a couple of people that I was just like, okay, let me block them from my channel. And I was just really surprised that there were people who were like super suspicious of me and even said, and that's why I never watch him. Now, at the same time, there was a few points where I was howling because I thought it was hilarious. But everybody's entitled to their feelings, but, you know, not everyone is entitled to the truth. So, again, for those of you, including Black Queen, that took a stand for me, I have to tell you, I got a little tear in my eye. I was very touched by that. So, And but that's the way it is. We're not a monolith. We're not joined at the hip. We're all different people. We all come from different experiences, and there are times when I'm suspicious about things, only to find out I was completely wrong. And I hope that I'm able to admit when I'm wrong. So, um, oh, that's for someone else. Let me see. Donna says it looked like the White House is getting ready to start warning the people to take another jab. Really? It won't be me. Oh, thank you for that. I hadn't heard that, but as a matter of fact, I did hear. I did hear that. I did hear that. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but more than likely, I'm gonna be very sheepish and do what I'm told. Let me see here. Yeah, Kinsey turned into a jealous Karen. And I guess that would explain a lot of people because okay, we've all lived through the Obama administration, and there's a lot of people who ended up voting for Trump who originally rode with Obama. Some of those same people that defended him was calling him a Muslim, was calling him a liar, accusing him of this and accusing him of that. And if that can happen with tens of thousands of people that voted for Obama and felt good about their vote, only for them to either deny that they voted for him or to harbor all types of regrets and bad feelings about having voted for him, then it's easy to believe that someone like a Kinsey could have been for Harry and Meghan one day because remember, the wedding was big and there were a lot of people who watched and was happy and excited. But then there are some people that are easily persuaded to go the other direction, especially if the people that are doing the, gaslighting makes you feel important enough or pay you enough, then some people will flip. So maybe she did flip. It's hard to believe that because of how awful she is, but maybe she did flip. Thank you for that, Black Queen. Let me see here. Lou Lee says, "Hi all, thanks Baron for the daily updates. Let me see. Prince Harry, Princess Meghan are actively changing the world hand in hand, and we are excited to see the Invictus Games. Love all the squaddies. Let's keep praying for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Thank you very much, and thank you for being a member. Okay, now I'm gonna have to get moving here because I'm getting so far behind. S, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you again for being here tonight. And Audrey, oh, thank you so much, Audrey Manguiro. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you and greatly appreciate it. Okay. Um, Let me see here. I'm just gonna go all the way. Oh, B. Martin says, yes, ride or die, Team Sussex. Thank you. All right. All right. Okay. Speaking of which, there we go. Ride or die. You just picked the wrong chicks to mess with. I love those. Ride or die. Okay. Hey, Lottie. Okay, let me go here. If those folks don't care about Harry and Meghan, why in the hell would you want their video? Exactly. Um, and I think most of the tabloids did not actually want it, but if they would have tried to pay him for it, I'm afraid they were going to try to do one of those catch and kill situations where they would have the rights to it and make it disappear. That's what I would have been afraid of. Is because you guys remember that video where the little girl was running and her shoe came off and she put her shoe on and won the race? I shared it on Royal Sussex, right? And then later on that day, I got a copyright infringement because one of the, I think it was TMZ, bought the rights to it. And because TMZ purchased it from the family, I wasn't able to show it again. So that does happen where someone will purchase it and have the sole right to it. And if that would have been the case, then we would have been prohibited from sharing it the way we have. So that's just something to think about. Now, I'm not saying that I have all the facts where that's concerned, but that is just something to think about. Yes, Black Queen. See, and this is why I don't mind getting older and having experienced life, because when someone tries to gaslight you or try to just plain lie about something, when you have lived through those days, months, and years, you know better. So Black Queen says, I remember 2010 Obama midterms when most of the Democrats running for election were trying to separate themselves from him. Only a few black congressmen stood with him. That's why the Republicans won. Yep, because they allowed people. Well, actually, a lot of that had to do with Trump, with all that birtherism stuff, and they allowed people to get in their heads, and that is why the midterms was such a disaster. And then who did they blame? Barack Obama. See, that's why it's good to um, talk these things out with people who have lived through those moments and who can recall those things, because if not, they will just try to push everything on you. Hey, Leslie F. So there's Kinsey, and Kinsey, of course, is what that's the person that he was referring to. And, like I said, she seems to have gone over to the dark side. She's been on GBN. I guess now she's on Talk TV, or maybe she still does both. But she has a sweet deal. I mean, she filled a void. They needed someone from the US, preferably black, but they decided to go with the love child of Tammy Faye Baker. And I don't know, I can't think of another person, but Tammy Faye Baker and, question mark for the daddy. They decided to go with Tammy Faye Baker's love child. And, she comes across as an honest broker to people who want to hear the lies. She's a good talker. She can keep the conversation going. She pretends as though she knows everything about everyone in LA, and I'm sure she knows a lot of people, but the A-listers, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't come within 10 feet of her. Um, and so she used that to her advantage. And it was, a chance for the shady TV people to seem like they have this inside track in LA. And she just makes up stuff. So I could understand if it appears that they started waving money in her face and she took it. I could see that happening. I could see that happening. I don't like it. Y'all don't like it, but that's just the fact, is that they have found someone who appears to be credible, someone who has worked a red carpet on occasion, or whatever her credentials are, and she is part of their orbit now. They're part of their universe. All we can do is to try to make sure that we point out the inconsistencies, point out what's a lie, and make sure that we maintain our side of things. And for the most part, there's nothing we can do but just ignore people like that. On occasion, paths will cross, like this situation, but other times, we have to keep them out of our psyche. We have to not let them get to us, because part of their objective is to demoralize the Sussex squad so that we won't be as willing to push back. B. Martin says, Legs said reality gutter. Yes, reality gutter Barbie. I almost forgot about that. Thank you, B. Martin. And of course, I don't have proof, I don't have any evidence, but I promise you, if I ever found out that upon DNA testing, we found out that somehow Tammy Faye Baker had a secret, I wouldn't be surprised either. I wouldn't be surprised if Tammy Faye Baker left her makeup case to her. I just wouldn't be surprised. God rest Tammy Faye, but I would not be surprised. I can see it. I'm going to tell you something you did not want to hear. In the States, the conversation is Harry and Meghan needs to apologize and they need to move back to the UK. I mean, listen to the dribble. Listen to the nonsense, said LA-based royal expert Kinsey Schofield. And notice I underline royal expert. This girl has quite the gimmick. That is clever. I have to say that is clever. Um, she's about as English as I am, and that's clever. That's all I can say is that's clever. So right here, take a look at the dates there. Take a look at the bottom at the dates. Meghan Knight, Meghan Markle, and Harry party at Beyonce's Renaissance tour in LA with Doria, but Harry looks glum after Netflix flop. Now, if you notice, it says September 2nd, right? And then it was updated on the 4th, which is today. And then take a look on the right side. Angela 11. Prince Harry looked like a sulking toddler at Beyonce and a giddy schoolboy watching Messi. How must Megan feel? Now, that is from Angela 11. So, in spite of all those videos, this is what they're maintaining. They are maintaining, and I do mean they do not want to share the Sun, um, the um, the Daily Mail, and I guess most of the others. They do not want you to see the other videos. This narrative is what works for their constituents, for their loyal followers, for the royalists, for the haters. This is where they're invested. And so I as a matter of fact, I think quite a few people in the spaces were saying that, oh, I can't wait till Monday. I can't wait till Monday because they're going to talk about this Monday. Well, Monday came and Monday is just about gone, and not a word has been spoken about any of it. Barely touched, barely touched. So, on the one hand, it lets you know that it was a good pushback. It lets you know that they don't have the narrative locked up like they thought they did. So they have to keep it going because if they do share those videos, then that means that they lied and they don't want to appear as though that they were ill informed and that they lied. So they just don't want to share that. So that's that. Let me see. What's that? Hidley says with 20 million views, they cannot win, Baron. Yeah, and I'm glad that the millennials and the everybody else, I'm so glad that the people that have been cheering on the Sussexes, the younger people that are the future, especially the future of the UK. I'm so glad that those young people saw this on TikTok. If this was on another platform, I don't know that it would have had the same punch, but because it was on TikTok, and TikTok is where so many of them are, I all I can say is win-win, win-win. Thank you so much for your comment. So, King Charles has no time in his diary. Well, we saw that yesterday with one of the other rags, and still they're maintaining that today. Is Prince Charles has no? I'm sorry, King Charles has no time in his diary. Okay, good. And still, here's yet another graph. I can understand this one better than the one that I was muttering through yesterday. This one right here didn't make a lot of sense to me, but this one uh, is easier to read. And again, those young people that we were discussing just now, you can see right there, the 18 to 24-year-olds, they, let's see, while 80% of the over 65 say that Britain should continue to have a monarchy, this falls with each age group to just 37% of the 18 to 24-year-olds. And let's see, yesterday I said that it was 18 and 20. I said it was like 35%, but now I can see, yeah, it's probably 37. So there you go. And the people that matters the most is the future of the monarchy, or eventually will matter the most because they will inherit, um, you know, this world. And so I'm just glad that that they've seen the Sussexes being very human and enjoying themselves. Speaking of which, I have another video. Okay, I'm going to share that in a minute. Some of it you may not have seen yet, and so I will share it with you. Helen Cole, let me see. Harry's docuseries, the ratings are good, right? You know, I'm not sure that it's in the top 10. I'm hoping it is, but I do believe that the big push is going to happen next week. I do believe, well, let me see. Oh, no, this week, the ninth, when it starts. Is it this week? Well, anyway, with the Invictus Games, I believe that's when the numbers are going to have a big bounce. I don't, um, I don't think Harry is able to do the talk shows because of the writer's strike. So we don't have that. Harry won't have a proper interview, as far as I know. Now, there may be a surprise between now and then, but as far as I know, Harry may not have a proper interview until he gets to Germany, right? And hopefully, maybe one of the morning news shows or something. I don't know what's going to happen with that, but I believe they released the series to coincide with the games, and I'm hoping that they have a strategy that involves the Invictus Games. But either way, at least we don't have, the narrative about the concert to regurgitate over and over again from the tabloids. At least we don't have that one. But yeah, Helen Cole, I'm not sure exactly where it is right now. If someone knows, please let us know. But I haven't seen it. But thank you so much for your super chat. Okay. Let me see. Lake says, what is the point of the grift by the taxpayer royals now? They would be more relevant if they didn't steal money from the taxpayers and let the taxpayers fund security. It must be greed and snobbery. And let's not forget entitlement, an incredible sense of entitlement. Seabiscuit. Uh, oh, yeah. Yeah, I was going to get to that. I was going to get to that. Hello, Charlotte. Thank you so much for being here tonight. And Lane Parker, thank you so much for staying up with us tonight. Yeah, Monte Cristo, smart people, they know the smear campaign. They see one, when they see one, this gig is up. Yeah, I remember I read the Express. They have a YouTube, not a YouTube, but a Facebook page. And it was something they said about the Sussexes. And you guys, I know I shared it with you. And I recall that just about, I'm going to say 95% of the comments accused the Express of lying. Please leave them alone. This is not news. Must be a slow news cycle. That was repeated over and over and over again. And this was on Facebook for the Express. But all of these people were calling them liars. And I'm more than certain that most of them were not squatties, but they know a lie. So, Monte Cristo, you get a bell for that. Thank you for reminding us about that. And that is something that we need to reinforce over and over again, is that most people know that these are all lies and made up innuendo and so on and so forth. So, right here, uh, King Leo over Queen Bee any day. Solo Harry looks ecstatic watching Messi. Am I saying his name right? Days after cutting a board figure that is, at Beyonce's concert, as Megan stays away from LA game despite being on the guest list. Um, was she on the guest list? Was she on the guest list? Was she on the guest list? Did they just put her on the list, or did she ask to show up? Who knows? But that's all they got. That's all they got. And the reason why they have to do that is because, once again, it was a triumph for Team Sussex. And once again, where's William? Where is William? Has anybody seen William? I haven't. William seems to have disappeared. Is he still on vacation? Is he sulking somewhere? Okay, so there's Harry right there. Now, I have a sound bite I want to play for you. I cannot play the video, of course, but I do have a sound bite. I will play that for you. Mm, Okay.
He's here, bro. Rally just for you. That's Prince Harry.
Harry, you legend. Everyone be quiet. Prince Harry, come find me. If you can see me, come find me. We need to talk.
Look, while he's talking to Will Ferrell, something you didn't know.
Will, tell him to come.
Do you feel more at home now?
I do.
Could you imagine if Prince Harry came to the desk? What would you do? Nothing.
He is pants.
Nothing.
I've seen him before. I've seen him before.
Bradley, look who's here, bro. Rally just for you. That's Prince Harry.
Harry, you legend. Everyone be quiet. Prince Harry, come find me. If you can see me, come find me. We need to talk.
Look, while he's talking to Will Ferrell, something you didn't know.
Will, tell him to come.
Do you feel more at home now?
I do.
Could you imagine if Prince Harry came to the desk? What would you do? Nothing.
He is pants.
Nothing.
I've seen him before. I've seen him before.
Bradley, look who's here, bro. Rally.
Okay, so that was 2 times. That is plenty. And I have listened to that over and over and over again. Um, and let me see, this photo here on the left, this is like the most recent one that came out from the event. Harry in great spirits. Harry is not on patrol. Harry is not being like the fifth Beatle in terms of security. So he's more relaxed. And thank God for that. And one of these days, my prayer is that one of these days that he can, and just think, if he's like that now, he is going to be very much guarded with his children. So I pray that most of this heat that they have been going through will lessen and disappear entirely, so that those kids can grow up as normal as possible. I know Harry and Meghan are going to do their best. And I sure hope that we don't have to go out there to California and regulate, because I would hate for me to have to show up on somebody's doorstep for getting out of pocket with Archie and Lily. I don't want to have to go out to LA and deal with people. So I don't want to have to regulate. You know what I'm saying? Because if anybody mess with them kids, I'm telling you, we're going to be moving furniture. We're going to be moving furniture. So Prince Harry watches Lionel Messi play soccer at star-studded game in Los Angeles. The Duke of Sussex was among a number of famous faces in the crowd at the BMO Stadium on Sunday night. So very cool. No mention of the price of his house. No mention of the royal family. No mention of stepping down from official royal duty. None of that stuff. No mention of anything. Just Prince Harry in the moment. And that's all we care about. Okay. Let me see here. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's move on. So again, there's Harry taking in the game. And these are the photos that we saw already. This is another new one. I don't think I've seen this one before today. I think this one was People Magazine. Yeah. And maybe a new one for some of you guys. Let me see. I'm your backup with you. All right, Helen Cole. We might have to regulate. I hope it don't come to that, but it better not mess with them kids. Let me see. Oh, thank you so much, Black Queen. All right. So right here it says the royal couple's appearance in France will clash. Oh, you know what? Let me go back because I want to do that video, because if I don't, I'm going to do like I did last night and almost forget after most people are gone. So let me grab the video and share it with you. Now, some of the content of the video may be new to some of you all. Maybe all of it is new to you. But let's do it anyway, shall we? Oh, you know what? Half of this I showed yesterday. And then there's about, okay, not a half, but maybe another third of it, 1/3 of it at the end that you haven't seen. So let's just watch, shall we?
Beyonce just texted. Really met.
Shut up.
Just checking in.
Just checking in. Just casual.
I still can't believe she knows who I am.
Harry! One message for Messi. One message only. Yeah. In the net.
So, in case you had a problem hearing that, I didn't want to use the actual video because there's a watermark on it in the middle right there. But someone said to Harry, "What message do you have for Messi?" And Harry yelled back, as he is right there. He says, "Tell him to put it in the net." So that was what Harry called back. But otherwise, everybody was either extremely excited to see him and very respectful, or both. And so that was the part where Harry was cheered in the hallway. I didn't see that myself until after I got off of the YouTube last night.
Harry, one message for Messi. One message only. Yeah. In the net.
Okay. One more time. One more time. Did y'all see Harry try to? What was he doing with his leg? What was he doing? What was that? I mean, he was. It may have looked a little different from the front or from the back, but from the side, he he was doing something. I'm not sure what it was, but he was doing something. Yeah. Y'all, he is going to embarrass Archie and Lily so bad if they ever have to see him dance someplace. When he dances at their weddings, I don't think they're going to be ready for it. I don't think they're going to be ready for it. That was bizarre. Is he doing the, what do they call it, the stanky leg, or what is that they call it? Now let me see you, whatever that is they say in the song. Yeah. Okay, Harry. Look, I'm trying to stand up for you, but if this ever comes up, so maybe it's a good thing that they did not share. Okay. He got me with that one. He got me with that one. Yeah, he was doing something. He was doing something. But you know what they say, dance like there's nobody else around. Let me see. It's okay. He's doing the unabashed itchy leg. Oh, is that what they call it? The itchy leg. Okay, itchy leg it is. Now let me see you do the itchy leg. Oh man. You know what though? That's our Harry. Harry just don't care. And also, you guys, let us not forget how athletic Harry is. By nature, he is athletic. He's probably a better athlete than he is a dancer. but he's always been very fit and athletic. And that is a stark contrast to another member of the family that spends a lot of time stretching and bending and flexing. And, they spend more time getting ready to compete than they actually compete. You know what I mean? His stretches are almost obscene, but yeah, he spends a lot of time stretching and flexing. Like right here, I think he was playing rugby and he seemed to be more preoccupied with stretching than he ever actually plays. It's as though he's preparing to go to Poland so that he can find himself a decent pulled pork sandwich someplace. If I didn't know better, I would say he was preparing for a trip to Poland. And then right here, it seemed to me as soon as he got out there, they kicked his behind. I mean, it seemed like he can't get a moment's peace out there. It looked like a free for all, like like they had it. This is probably a lot like Charles away at school. Remember when Charles went to boarding school and they kicked his behind? Probably the same thing happened to William. I mean, look at him. What a little what do you call it? Snowflake. What a little snowflake. Yeah, yeah, they wore him out, didn't they? I tell you what, they didn't give him any consideration as the future king, that's for sure. But maybe he likes it rough. Maybe there's something about that appeals to him. Maybe he likes it rough. Because I've seen the stretching before, but I've never seen any of the plays. And it appears to me like he's in a lot of trouble. It just seems to me like he's in a lot of trouble. So there you go. And then, of course, there was this awkward moment when he was Harry did as much he did the most. Harry did the most to try and let his brother feel superior when everybody knows that the reporters only wanted to talk to Harry. And that's been a dance that Harry has done very well, is allowing William to feel superior. That's the dance that he's been doing, but he doesn't have to do that anymore. And then, of course, when it's the cool factor, one of the brothers always looks cool and confident, and the other always looks like, I don't know, like it's like he's wearing a very itchy suit. Like whatever he's wearing is itching and he just can't focus on the task at hand. Whatever it is, he just doesn't have it. He has spent a lifetime looking over his shoulder trying to see what Harry's doing. So in life, there are winners and losers. But since the loser has the higher rank, I'm just going to say losers and winners instead of winners and losers. That's how life is. Now, take a look here. You guys don't think for one moment that the Wellses or the Cambridges or whoever they are is, don't think that they're going to rest on their laurels. Don't think that they are going to go down without a fight, because they're not. And I don't care if they have to take hip hop dance lessons, they are going to try to win one for the team. Like they say here, yo, from the palace, we down with black people. We aren't racist, honest. Actually, one of the squatties had posted this tweet. Now, we talked about this yesterday. Oh my goodness, this is a life of its own. This is the young lady whose name was used for an article about the carnival in, what is it, Nottingham or whatever. This is the young lady right here. She said the quiet parts out loud, and that is that they used her name to write a very uh, racist column about an event that focuses on Black culture. That's why I said she said the quiet parts out loud. And well, anyway, that was quite a stir yesterday. And today, even more people have picked up on the story. But yeah, so the Daily Mail wanted her to ghostwrite a column about the carnival. Oh, actually, she didn't do the one for the carnival, but she did one prior to that. I'm trying to find it right now so I could show it to you. Is this it? Oh, yeah. Hi, Dominique, whatever her name is. What's, or should be, was this ghost written for you? And she admitted that it was. And this one was about, this is this clash of the royals was not about culture. I mean, was about culture and not about color. So at a time after the Oprah interview, they wanted to neutralize the idea that the royal family was very R word. So this column was created and they used her name for the column. And she admitted that, which was very brave, very, very brave. But, um, you know, people have, like right here, there was an article, I forget the name of the magazine, but right there on the right side, it says, racist bigotry has for many years been a stock in trade for the right-leaning part of our free press and fearless press. I'm sorry, for our free and fearless press. I'm sorry about that. Their problem has not been doing the racism. They have no difficulties with that, but ensuring they can muster the appropriate level of plausibility, a plausible deniability, deployed along with righteous indignation in order to minimize the fallout following publication. In other words, make sure that people think it was written by a Black person, and then it doesn't seem so bad as just another white person being hypercritical or judgmental about Black people. So that is why they do that. And so they wanted her to write a column about the carnival, but she refused. But it seems like they found someone, like right here, thugs rampaging with zombie knives, 8 stabbings, 75 police officers hurt, open drug use, and revelers urinating in gardens. Well, somebody had to write it. And so, um, wig and all, it looks like Nana wrote a column about it. And people are wondering, did Nana actually write the column or did she just have her name attached to it? But you guys, like I just said, and I don't know which is true and which is not true. Who is the real Kinsey Schofield? Is it the one that just, says all of these hateful, nasty, negative things about Megan? Or is it the one that used to like her, but now she gets paid to not like her? Which is the real Kinsey? But the truth is, it doesn't matter because if someone is easily corrupted like that, it says a lot about who they are. So, did Nana write it or did she not write it? It doesn't matter. Her name is on it. And if she allowed that to happen, then that just says what kind of person she is. Good night, Brenda Lawler. Oh, why did I? Okay. So, yeah, I'm done with that. Next one. 2,000 southern white rhinos to be released in into the wild over the next 10 years. Well, you guys, here's some good news. The African Parks has purchased the world's largest captive rhino breeding operation. The operation in a bid to rescue and rewild the rhino to safe and well managed protected areas across Africa. 2,000 of them. 2,000. Because, as you know, they have been on the verge of extinction. I think the black rhinos have gone extinct, but the white rhinos, well, they still have hope. And so this is good news. And the reason why I'm sharing it with you is because who's the president of the African parks? Prince Harry, not William, Prince Harry. And also, Prince Harry is the subject of one of the best photos that has ever been taken for African parks. I love that photo of Prince Harry. Love that photo. But yeah, Prince Harry has been the president of the African parks, not Willie, Harry. And of course, the last time we heard from Harry about the parks was about the Delta. The Delta is a key area for our planet's health. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and the main source of water for nearly a million people. It is also home to endangered wildlife from lions and giraffes to African wild dogs and the world's largest remaining population of endangered savanna elephants. All right, and then there's this. Um, you can be both a public, I'm sorry, you can't be both a public servant and be accountable to, oh, well, let me see, what does it say? Yeah, you can't be both a public servant and be unaccountable to that public. The royal family sees themselves as above the rule of law, and a government giving them cover shows the political power they still wield whilst denying they have any. In other words, um, someone tried to use the Freedom of Information Act or the equivalent thereof to find out what type of information the police have on Andrew, the sick old man. And they said that they're not sharing that information until 2065. At the in 2065, according to Anne of Duchess of Success, he will be like 104 years old. So, in other words, he won't be here, or he will be too ill, or too sick, or too fragile to ever see a day in court. So, our Republic from Scotland, they're the ones that's crying foul right here. What is that? Uh, is to remove Harry from things connected to things he supports. I haven't heard that. Let me see here. Oh, thank you so much, Donna Black. It's not a Akua the ring. Oh, Myrna Roberts. I remember that movie where that thing came out of the well or out of the television or whatever, dripping water. Y'all in here going in on Nana. I was wondering what all the laugh emojis was about. Okay. Well, enjoy, you guys. Black Queen says, Baron, do you have the video of Willie being incandescent with the gutter rats who were trailing him? So, no, I do not have that. They actually they had to take that off of the YouTube. I think the palace lawyers got involved. So It pops up on YouTube every so often, and then they take it down. But I would not be allowed to share that one. That one would get me in trouble. So yeah, I wish I could. If I could, I would show it all the time. But they did not like that one, Black Queen, and they made sure that that got gone. Now you could find it on Twitter because Twitter they don't care, but YouTube, nope. YouTube is a no go. But thank you so much for the super chat. Greatly appreciated. But yep, that one I cannot share. And I did copy it. You know, I got a copy on my hard drive. And whenever it's okay to share it, I will. Yellow Rose Tea. Let me see. I tried to hang y'all, but I have to take these old bones to bed tomorrow. My granddaughter's first day of college. Congratulations. She's nervous. Have a good night, Mod Squaddies. Good night, Baron. Thank you, Yellow Rose Tea. And again, congratulations. Okay, take a look here. Portrait of a young girl as she sits in a homemade go-kart on a Harlem sidewalk, New York, 1947. How adorable is that? Isn't that adorable? And notice the photo was taken in 1947, but the license plate says 1945. So, do you got, well, I know y'all already know, but does it make y'all feel old that you old enough to remember when people used to get a new license plate every year? And if you're young and you're watching Royal Sussex right now, let me say that again. We didn't have stickers to go on the plates. We had to get new license plates. Oh, we have come a long way, haven't we? Oh man, she's got grandma's shopping cart wheels. She got an old license plate. And what is that? What's the hood? Is that an old scrub board? Is that one of them old scrub boards for the laundry? And look, how cute is that? Those are little tin cans for headlights. Oh, how cute. Little tin cans for headlights. Now that is so creative. Adorable. And she's adorable. Oh, how adorable. And let's see, Hollywood star Winston Duke officially becomes a Rwanda citizen. The actor was one of the distinguished names of last week's, what it says right there. So I don't know if he has dual citizenship, but he is now a citizen of Rwanda. And for you guys that don't know, there are some African countries where you can apply for dual citizenship. If you're African descent in the America, you can have dual citizenship or full citizenship. It's up to you. Now, I have a little video that I made because I wanted to make sure I got this right. And I didn't want to trust myself to try to mutter through it. So I decided to do it like this. Now, as you guys know, Patrick J. Adams, or as he calls himself, Half Adams, he says the guy from the show that you're watching on that app because that girl married that prince. And he has a great sense of humor too. And that is his wife right there. They did an interview for Extra. But that is his real life wife on the right side. And that is his TV girlfriend slash wife on the left side. Yeah, he's a good guy. He is a very good guy. So let me get that for you.
Meghan. A collection of tweets from Patrick J. Adams. Meghan Markle and I spent the better part of a decade working together on Suits. From day one, she was an enthusiastic, kind, cooperative, giving, joyful, and supportive member of our television family. She remained that person and continued as fame, prestige, and power accrued. She has always been a powerful woman with a deep sense of morality and a fierce work ethic, and has never been afraid to speak up, be heard, and defend herself and those she holds dear. Like the rest of the world, I have watched her navigate the last few years in astonishment. She fell in love, moved to a new country, became a household name across the entire globe, and began the difficult work of trying to find her place in a family dynamic that can at best be described as complicated, and at worst seemingly archaic and toxic. It sickened me to read the endless racist, slanderous, clickbaiting vitriol spewed in her direction from all manner of media across the UK and the world, but I also knew that Meghan was stronger than people realized or understood, and they would regret underestimating her. And then they welcomed Archie. And on any sort of decent planet, that would be a time to stop sharpening the knives and let these two people enjoy the magical early months and years of starting a family. But we don't live on that planet, and instead the hunt continued. It's obscene that the royal family, whose newest member is currently growing inside of her, is promoting and amplifying accusations of bullying against a woman who herself was basically forced to flee the UK in order to protect her family and her own mental health. In my opinion, this newest chapter and its timing is just another stunning example of the shamelessness of an institution that has outlived its relevance, is way overdrawn on credibility, and apparently bankrupt of decency. Find someone else to admonish, berate, and torment. My friend Meghan is way out of your league.
So that was Patrick J. Adams standing up for Meghan. That was very, very, very touching, and it was actually not one tweet but several tweets, and he just kept going. I mean, he just wrote that right off the top of his head, I think, but he was extremely frustrated by the way she had been treated, and so he wanted to call them out, and he did. And thank you very much, Patrick J. Adams. Um, Also, I'm just, I like to share little information that may be not exactly necessary, but just FYI. The reason why they call him Patrick J. Adams is the same reason why we say Samuel L. Jackson. Um, in the Screen Actors Guild, if there has been another movie star, another actor, another television star that has the same name in the past, even if that person is dead and buried, they will not allow you to use that name. And that's why in the movie Soul Food, Vanessa Williams became Vanessa L. Williams, because there was already another actress that used the name Vanessa Williams. So instead of saying Patrick Adams, according to the rules, we have to call him Patrick J. Adams to differentiate him from any other Patrick Adams. So if you ever wonder why did they do that, but I do think there was only one Mary J. Blige. But if you ever wonder why they do that, that is why. Is because they don't want you to confuse one actor or actress with another. So Patrick Adams became professionally known as Patrick J. Adams. And of course, that's his tweet right there. And that is Patrick J. Adams and Meghan. And that is a hot mess. You guys, I don't know. I don't want to offend anybody, but if you live in Arkansas, don't drink the water. Okay? If you live in Arkansas, don't drink the water because I don't think it's good for you. Look at what that water has done to those people in Arkansas. Look at them. Now, in case you don't know it, that is the governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Her father was also governor. He's on the far left side with that shirt that looks like it's a tablecloth from a barbecue cookout or something. That's her father, um, the old governor. So, yeah, I don't know. It might be something in the water. Might be something in the water, but I wouldn't drink it if I were you. And I can't prove it, but I bet you she got some boots on. She loves wearing those skirts with a boot. Well, now she's what you call a very handsome woman. Yes, but she has a pretty smile. Um but and when she was running for governor, I was one of the first people to congratulate her, as you can see right here. Congratulations and good luck to Sarah Huckabee Sanders. If you know, you know. But I was one of the first people to wish her well and congratulate her. And like I say, if you know, you know. Oil, that is. Y'all come back now here. Now, I'm going to finish up with this tonight. I'm going to finish up with this. It's going to take a few minutes, but I'm going to finish up with this. America deserves better celebrities than Harry and Meghan. Major League Soccer is finally attracting A-list spectators. Prince Harry is not one of them. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? Um, I'm pretty sure that Harry doesn't consider himself a celebrity, but everyone who's famous has a certain celebrity. He may not consider himself as an A-lister, but I'm just going to say he is because, after all, he is the other half of the most talked about, most popular, most famous royal couple alive today. Also, everybody has a brand. I got a brand, you got a brand. How people perceive us, that's our brand. Not a dirty word. And America is perfect for Prince Harry. America is home and also perfect for Meghan. We like people that work hard. See, this man is writing from the standpoint of a country filled with aristocrats, also known as an aristocracy. The United States is a meritocracy. All we care about is hard work and coming up. That's our, um, you know, that's who we look up to. People who work hard, people who understood the assignment and beat the system. That's America. You were able to rise above your circumstances. Any child born in this country today has an excellent chance of becoming president of the United States. That can't happen in the United Kingdom. That can't happen in a lot of places, but it could happen here in these United States. How many times have I heard somebody say, who knows? She might even be president. He might even be president. And that way you can just totally circumvent all of the circumstances that could hold you back, and you could be in the highest office in the land. That's something that could not happen anyplace else. You could be the most powerful person in the industrialized Western world, and having been born just yesterday. It could happen. It has happened. Harry Truman ran a haberdashery before he became a president. I'm sorry, before he became a politician and eventually president of the United States. Where else could that happen where somebody like Harry Truman could become president? Only in America. So, where else could a member of the royal family leave his nation of birth, and build a life for himself other than America? Where else would that happen? Where else could you leave your royal family and be looked upon and respected and applauded? Where else would that happen? I don't know. Nobody's looking down on Harry. People are looking toward him and celebrating him in America. He fits here like a hand to the glove. Leg says, yet he writes the article about him snobbery. Yes, absolutely, Legs. He writes an article about him, and it is snobbery on full display. So, this is Harry's home now. And it bothers them that Harry is not only surviving, but thriving. And you know what else? Did you all notice? And I'm asking this to people outside of the US. People here already know, but did you all notice that it doesn't offend anyone in the US that Harry shows up, gets all these big contracts, builds a life for himself that would have seemed impossible 20 years ago? And who's complaining about it? People back home. Nobody over here is complaining about it. Nobody's complaining about it here. Only those sick, foolish royalists or MAGA people or Brexiteers in the US are complaining. Nobody else is interested and nobody else cares. And you know why it doesn't bother anybody? Because a child born yesterday can grow up and be president of the United States. You always have that open to you. And just being born here. That's it. No other qualifications. Of course, you have to qualify with the voters. But if a fool like Donald Trump can be president, anybody can. And that's the whole point of it. Nobody is fussing about Harry's wealth. You can name how many bathrooms he has. You can, or should I say, count. You can talk about how big his house is. You can talk about all that stuff. And nobody's coming for him. Now, that is astounding, but it's true. And even though they kept trying to push and push and push, that $14 million mansion, 14, nobody cares. I mean, I know people I went to school with that are millionaires on paper. Okay? I have family that are millionaires on paper, mostly. But the thing is, we don't come for people. We celebrate what they do. You know, we may not want it for ourselves, but we celebrate it for them. And that's why when they try to use the term Hollywood as some type of insult, Hollywood, and of course, the business people, the manufacturers, the robber barons, if you will, the corporate people, they were the first ones that could look the aristocracy back in the motherland of England in the eye and say, you know what? You're not better than me. You're not better than anybody. I got just as much as you. I got more than you. And I worked hard for it. I have nothing to be ashamed of. That's what you get from Hollywood. That's what you get from the very vulgarly rich, conspicuously rich Americans. That's what you get is people who were the first people to be able to look them in the eye and call them out as an equal. Might not be equal in their eyes, but as an equal. And so to try to demoralize or degrade Harry in front of Americans for having achieved the impossible, they are really playing the wrong tune. That's the wrong tune in the wrong place on the wrong night because it just doesn't work. Harry was celebrated when he walked into that place. He wasn't cursed. He wasn't booed. He was celebrated. That's what people over here care about. That nonsense is better left amongst the aristocracy over there. But Americans, they get it. They understand. And then to try to come for Meghan, try to be racist toward Meghan. Well, let's see. What was the when January the 6th happened? I heard more white people say if that would have been black people in the Capitol building, it wouldn't have gone like that. There's a lot of white people, a lot of good, hardworking white people in this country that calls out racism on a daily. We don't always give them credit for it, but they call it out on the daily. They don't shy away from it. They don't hide it. And especially the young people. If it's one thing I learned from George Floyd, and that is the young people get it. Just like the young people over there understand how unnecessary the royal family is, the young people over here understand that. And they also are not in denial about racism. And I will say, to the credit of a lot of those kids in England, in the United Kingdom, after the Queen died, they were the ones yelling colonizer the loudest. I don't care about that family. They're colonizers. But yet, most of them have nothing but nice things to say about Harry. And that is the biggest problem that they have, is that in spite of everything that they've thrown at Harry, in spite of every opportunity to try to call him out as elitist and spoiled and what's the word, whinger and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't stick. Not over here, it doesn't. Now, if you want to look at those Karens that carry the water for the cause, fine. But, those are the same ones that voted for Trump, so I don't really count them as people. But Harry is winning. Harry is winning. And so to say America deserves better celebrities, no, we're okay with what we got, and we're happy. We're happy for them. Reminds me of Titanic. He's calling us new money. Exactly. Exactly. I thought it was just the most asinine article, but this goes to show how desperate they are. And by the way, thank you for the super chat. But this just goes to show how desperate they are. They got nothing else, so they decide to try to call out Harry for being popular. As a matter of fact, I added this picture here on the right side, right? And let me just go through a little list. It's not scientific. It's not in chronological order, but it's what I could do in a pinch. Did he ask if Britain deserved a better prince when William lost half the Commonwealth? Did he ask that question when William lost half the Commonwealth? Did he ask if Britain deserved a better Prince of Wales when William refused to go to the World Cup, the Lionesses game in Australia? Did he ask for a better prince then? A better Prince of Wales? Did he ask about that? Because I don't remember seeing that article. What about when William and Kate went to a food bank with 9 photographers and spent 55 minutes shuffling around shopping carts? Didn't bring nan piece of food with them. Not nan. Did you hear me, Big Mama? Not nan piece of food. And I don't remember Prince William being called out by this writer who insists that America needs better celebrities. We deserve better celebrities. I don't recall anybody saying, oh, we should have a different Prince of Wales. Or what about when William took all them people money and started the Earth Shot and made a big fuss about don't buy any new clothes, just wear something repurposed. I'm going to show up in an electric car. Dame Judi Dench will be there. And oh gosh, what's her name? The one from Howard's End, Emma something. She's going to be there. Oh yeah, it's going to be real nice. We're going to dress up and we're renting this huge hall. And now that was a big flop. People started tuning away from it as soon as it started. Most people didn't know what was happening. The family in the background was headed to Waitrose, and they were like, oh, wonder what that is. But I don't remember him asking if the British people deserved a better Prince of Wales when this happened. Or how about when the president of the BAFTA Awards, what about when he didn't show up and then he did show up and nobody even applauded when they arrived? Nobody was interested. Some people seem to have that resting, I can't stand those two faces. I don't remember anybody asking, why is he the president of the BAFTA Awards? Don't we deserve a better president? And while we're at it, don't we deserve a future Prince of Wales or Prince of Wales? Don't we deserve better? I don't remember at all anybody writing about that. Or what about when William brought in all of those people from the banking community, from the government, all of which seem to play for a different team, but that's not a problem. I'm just pointing that out. They all seem to enjoy pulled pork sandwiches. Nobody had a complaint when William allegedly used these people to conspire against his brother, driving him not only out of Kensington Palace, but out of the country at a time when they were headed toward a slimmed down monarchy and there's not enough royals to go around. But I don't remember anybody asking that question about William's relevance or how necessary he was as the future king, that he would dare plot against his brother, leak to the press, give his communication person the okay to share emails with the people that his brother is suing. I don't remember that. I think that the British people deserve a better Prince of Wales. Also, did he write a column about the British people or even Prince Harry deserving a better future king, a better brother, a better Prince of Wales when he issued a joint statement that Harry had absolutely no knowledge of? As a matter of fact, this is one of several joint statements from the brothers that Harry had no knowledge of. But I don't remember anybody asking Harry, do you think the British people deserve a better prince, a better celebrity, a better future king, a better person? No, I don't remember that article. I don't remember the embarrassment being spoken about when they got booed at the Boston Celtics game for the other Earth flop, which was a big fat nothing burger. Nobody was interested. Nobody cared. The people on the team, they tried to drum up some type of agreement of how special it was. And what happened? Nothing. Now, when Harry showed up at what was it, a soccer match yesterday or day before yesterday? It was yesterday. Oh boy, people cheered, and the commentators were beside themselves, and I mean, it was joy all over the place, but not for poor William. But yet, nobody is asking that very same question. Don't the people deserve better? Huh. Or how about when he got booed? How about when he got booed at the in Liverpool? No one asked. Or how about when he went skiing rather than performing his official royal duty? He took his family and went skiing just in time for the Commonwealth Day. I don't remember anybody asking that question about William. Or how about the other time when he went skiing without his wife and children and he was photographed with some mysterious blonde that was not his wife? No articles about that. Well, yes, it was, but still, this guy didn't ask, don't the people deserve better? And how about this one right here? When William, what was that he said? Oh, when he was joking about the pandemic. When he joked about the pandemic, right? And he made a big laugh out of it, even though people were already dying. But William thought it was a big joke. This is the future head of state. And what about what about the fact that they don't do any prep work before they go on royal tours? She who has a degree in art history and he who has a degree in geography don't seem to know their behinds from a hole in the ground, and yet they showed up and even did something Charles has never done. They got black people carrying them around in thrones. That just goes to show a lack of insight, stupidity. Let me see. Don't forget the 4 Black U.S. Open peeps and quarters. 4 Blacks U.S. Open, U.S. Open, U.S. Open. U.S. Open. I don't remember that one, but we're going to do a bell for that one anyway. And what about this one? Prince William says human population growth in Africa is harming wildlife. Really? Because I think that same population was able to reintroduce 2,000 white rhinos to the wild, right? Boy, I tell you, that William, with his degree in geography, almost done, you guys. And what about this one? He said Britons were more used to seeing conflict in Africa and Asia. It's very alien to see this in Europe. We are all behind you, he said, but he added that he, like many, wanted to do more to help. We feel so useless. You are useless. Go with that feeling, William. Go with that feeling, because it's more than a feeling. You are useless. You are just as useless as you think you are. Probably more useless than I could ever say you are. And what about when he said he was going to make sure that all the ivory in the royal family collection was destroyed? And what did we see at the coronation? Ivory. What about when he said his mama was crazy and paranoid? What about when he, let me see. Oh, yeah. And his popularity is at an all time low, in spite of what they say. His popularity is in the toilet, courtesy of him. And I think that was it. Yeah, so that was it, you guys. I tried to think of a few things that I could sum up. I just went through all of my photos of William and tried to put together a little what about. I think they call it whataboutism. Yes, the homeless project. Thank you. You know what? I'm so lost. I meant to, and this is what Legs has been doing, by the way. I meant to ask you guys to list some things that I didn't mention. So let me see. The homeless project. Let me see here. Any other ones? Oh yeah, they are. When it comes to being a failure, they are a power couple. Let me see. Yes, it's a vanity degree. That's true. Uh, okay, I'm looking. We got homelessness. Um, it was something else. Oh, world peace, peace in the Middle East. Let me see here. Oh man. And remember, didn't he tell Harry that he was going to deal with Camilla in his own way? Didn't he tell Harry that? I suppose he did, though, because he totally dissed her at the speech he gave at the Windsor Castle. So, yeah, he was going to get rid of hunger. Thank you. Heads together. Thank you. Let me see. Yeah, he did nothing for Grenfell. Wasted money on barricades. Boy, you guys don't hold back, do you? Sure, Reba. Uh, oh, man. Well, you guys, thanks for your contributions. And thank you, Legs. You have been exceptional tonight. But yeah, so I just wanted to be fair and point out a few things because I was totally offended by that article, and I thought it was inappropriate. I thought it didn't bear any truth whatsoever in terms of the Sussexes and their contribution to humanity. And I just wanted to make sure that if we're going to call people out, that we call out William. That's all, because he has been a huge disappointment. Yes, and sleeping rough. Yes, and sleeping rough with black men. Let me see. And the fake burgers. Thank you. Uh, uh, is that her name now? I saw that out the corner of my I saw that out the corner of my eye. I was like, what the what? Yes, and he took that money from Murdoch. And he didn't invite those winners to come to Earth Flop. Okay, you guys, I'm not going to ring that bell again. I'm starting to get tired of it. But thank you, everyone. And thank you all for staying up or waking up early with us. And thank you all, as always, moderators. And thank you, William, for all of the constant material. On a slow day, when I feel like there's not enough to talk about, I always have William. Yes, the helicopters and the trip to the Middle East to plant a tree. Remember, he went to the Middle East to plant a tree? Yes. All right. Well, anyway, let's sum it up like this. In spite of all of his efforts, William, Harry is the me you can't see. William is the me you can't be. William can never be anyway as impressive as his brother. And again, I am so proud of Harry. I'm so proud of the Sussex family. I'm so proud and so happy for Doria. Um, and I am greedy and I'm a little selfish that all I want to do is to look up and see the Sussexes here, there, and everywhere. But the reality is their security is more important than my thirst to see them. Their happiness is more important, their peace of mind, their mental health is more important. However, I am praying for a day when there won't be so much heat on them and that they can enjoy more freedom and enjoy life without the paps and opportunists, and of course, the constant security threat that's been on Harry for years, and of course, the threats against his family, including our Duchess. So that is my hope for the future. So thank you very much, everybody, and thank you for spending the last few minutes dragging Willie with me. Dragon Willie. That doesn't sound strange at all, does it? It conjures up something, but I'm too embarrassed to say. But oh man. So yeah, it's been a good few days, you guys, and let's save that energy because we have to see Harry through the well child, and we have to see the Sussexes through the Invictus games and beyond. So that is our work for the very near future. And to all of the other content creators, thank you all so much. This is a group effort. There's no one person. This is a group effort. So thank you all. And I still say my MVP is Matt, but I'm a little, um, you know, biased on his behalf because these have been some of the best couple of days that I've had recently, and it feels good. And yeah, I'm happy for it. I'm so happy people can witness the way the Sussexes are, because it's not just the dancing and out being happy, but it's the fact that they have been trying to push that narrative about them not being a couple anymore, and that totally blew all of that out of the water. No matter what they say, no matter how they try to spin it rather, we have proof positive. Nobody is that good at pretending or acting or whatever. They are one. They are one. And it's going to stay that way. And no hateful tabloid media is going to be able to say different, because that was not a performance. That's just who they are. That's their default mode. Uh, yeah, Nathan Dixon, absolutely. That's the way it falls down. Is that William was born, Charles was relieved, Charles had an heir, he fulfilled his mission. Harry was born, he looked at that red hair, jumped in his car an hour later, and drove off to play polo, or whatever they call that these days. And yeah, so that's what it comes down to. And we are here to support Diana's legacy, Harry executing that legacy, fulfilling that legacy. Um, yeah, that's what we're here for. And of course, fair play. We are pushing back against bullies and so on. So I'm glad for it. I'm glad for it. It's not exactly what I thought I would be doing at this point in my life, but here I am, and I'm glad for it. And thank you all for trusting me to do this work as always, because that means more than everything else. Um, and and for my part, I'm going to do my darndest to never ever let you all down. Let me see here. And speaking of which, our queens, Doria and Diana, you all have done well. You have done well. Good night, everyone. Thank you all so much. Sorry I couldn't get to most of your comments, but it has been busy tonight. Let me see here. Oh, good night, good night, good night. Oh, thank you, 1960. Yeah, I managed to listen to VS today, um, and Pedo. Um, yeah, those are the three that I listen to the most. But yeah, I managed to catch all of them at some point today. So I was glad for that. Yes, thank you, Reba Henderson. They have made up BS to spread, which is not reality. Yeah, and that's the truth. It is BS. It is BS. Thank you. Oh, Patty Askew, thank you very much. Let me see here. Well, let me find something wise and worldly to close us out today. Let me see here. Something, something. Hmm. Well, I don't know. Oh, I'm looking in the wrong place. That's for sure. All right. Aha, there we go. Nope, that's still the wrong place. Try this. Try that. Nope, try that one. Okay, it's been built up too much. Oh, okay. I found what I was looking for. And no, I didn't. Oh, there we go. All right. So, people are intimidated by you, talk bad about you with hopes that others will find you so. I'm sorry. I totally messed that up. Let me try it again. People who are intimidated by you talk bad about you with the hopes that others won't find you so appealing. That is so true. The people that talk bad about you, they do it because they don't want other people to think kindly of you. Okay, one more? Sure, one more. Huh. Okay, I've done so many of these already. Oh, sometimes I feel like giving up. Then I remember I have a lot of people to piss off. Or how about this one? The devil wouldn't be attacking you so hard if there wasn't something valuable inside of you. Thieves don't break into an empty house. Read that again. Okay. The devil wouldn't be attacking you so hard if there wasn't something valuable inside of you. Thieves do not break into an empty house. Aha. How you like that one? Now that is profound. And that is our last word for today. So, see there, when people are attacking you, it's because there's something great and good inside of you, and they want it. They want what you have because they don't have it. And so, since they don't have it, they decide to attack you, right? Right. Oh, you like the second one, Adrian? Oh, me too. I like the second one better. A thief doesn't break into an empty house. Ha! All right, love it. All right, and with that, you guys, I'm going to cue the Ginger Adventure, and I love you all. I will see you tomorrow.
I love Prince Harry, and Prince Harry should be king. He should be king. Prince Harry, not William. William and all of them in there, Camilla is the wicked witch of the devil himself, because she is part of why Princess Diana is not here. I do not like them. I am from the islands, and we don't need them in the Caribbean. Get lost. Demolish the monarchy. This is 2023, okay? And I will support Harry 100%. I do feel for him. Yes, I do. And everything in the book is the truth. And Charles is the monster, not Harry. Harry is no monster, not Meghan. He is bringing the story out right now. They are evil people. They are not nice. Behind the wall, we all are one human being, and behind that wall there are no difference with me and you and any other Brits. Give the people back the money. They are just welfare recipients, living off the taxpayers of the British people. And the British people are stupid, supporting that nonsense monarchy. It is nothing. It's just a title. It means nothing, a title. I'm angry at them.